העגל. Let's begin, פסוק למד פרק למד פסוק י"ח. There is something going on around חטא העגל, which is the לוחות. The introduction for חטא העגל begins where Moshe Rabbeinu came down from the mountain with the לוחות. That is introduction before we begin חטא העגל. למד א' י"ח. למד א' י"ח. So the beginning of חטא העגל begins with וירן ויפן in פריה, פסוק י"ח, ויתן אל משה ככלותו לדבר איתו בהר סיני, שני לוחות העדות, לוחות אבן כתובים באצבע אלוהים. So the introduction to the story of לוחות העגל, not like the חמור who did the פרקים, you know, a comer, a priest is the פרקים. So the פרק למד is on the wrong place. The פרק למד begins on the next pasuk, but באמת, in the parashot in the Torah, the parasha of חטא העגל begins with the luchot. And here it says, כן. And here it says that Hashem gave him the luchot, and then he started the story of חטא העגל. And then later on, when Moshe is going down the mountain, it says again, he took the luchot and he went down the luchot. So it seems that the luchot is a big factor in חטא העגל. As we see Moshe Rabbeinu, when he came down, the first thing he did is breaking the luchot. So what's the importance of the luchot to חטא העגל? With that being said, we need to understand there are some basic questions about the luchot. What bothers me as a kid, what do you need the luchot for? You have Sefer Torah, נכון? So you take 10 out of Sefer Torah, you know? If you want to give Moshe something, give him, no Sefer Torah. If you don't want to give, don't give anything. What's the point of the luchot? Now it's called, in one end it's called luchot ha'edut, and in the other end it's called luchot even. Two names. So the even is the material, nachon? So are we referring to it? So if I would write the first pasuk, luchot ha'edut, asui me'even. It says luchot ha'edut, luchot even. It's a same description, which completely two. One is talking about the functionality of the luchot, and the other one talks about the material of the luchot, the nicknames that it's receiving. Now, there is a special thing about the luchot, that the luchot can be read through one, through the other. Nachon? See-through. What's the gain of having the luchot see-through?
See from everywhere.
The ability to budget.
Yeah, but again, the question is, if the luchot is standing in the middle of the room, you need the luchot to be able to be see-through. Lama? Because if I'm standing over here, you can see it, and I'm standing over here, we both can see. Where were the luchot the whole time? In the Aron. So it was always backing to the luchot. There was never a time for the luchot to be read from both sides.
From the back.
Yeah, from the back. So what's the point giving us ability to see the luchot from the back?
Moshe was bringing.
He was holding it. You can see it from the back. Moshe is blocking it.
And you know how he's holding it like this?
Yeah, holding the luchot. Okay, but people read it. People don't read from the back of Moshe into here.
No, but Moshe is reading it and they're reading it.
No, Moshe is holding. He always says that Moshe was holding the luchot and it was placed right away in the Aron. So even when you say, let's assume for the time being, when Moshe picked it up, put it in the Aron, it's a see-through, but there is no point for it to be see-through. Where all of the time, where are the luchot sitting? In the Aron. So make it simple. Why do you need to make it see-through? But no, you're right, but you cannot see it because anyway, it's sitting in the Aron. מה אתה אומר?
That's what you just said.
That's what you're saying.
Even if you put it in the Aron, you're able to see it.
No, both sides, two sides, doesn't say four sides, two sides ktuvim. So there is no point for it to make a see-through, so what's the point of doing it like that? So this is the basic questions of the luchot.
It's always when you're doing a renovation, it's stuff that nobody sees, you don't make nice, like in your car.
yeah, at the back. I just had it in Shorashim, we did review. So on the Aron Kodesh, I wanted to put the top, I said everything got to be wood inside, nachon? He's like, Rabbi, nobody can see inside. It's very high, and that's, I'm like, okay, I give up, don't do it. Like that's Aron Kodesh, the luchot. You don't suppose, where you don't see, you don't need to invest. Now let's talk about the whole concept. We finish the luchot, let's talk about חטא העגל. חטא העגל In other words, if you read the parasha, what do you want from them? He told them, I'm going to be here in 40 days. יפה? The 40 days are over according to their cheshbon. The Satan is showing them stuff. What do you want from them?
Rashi says it's their fault. Rashi says
בסדר.
they're miscounting.
They're miscounting, but what do you want? You're showing them the wrong stuff. But the real question is, what do they want from Moshe? You know, if somebody is not here for 40 days, one more day, מה קרה? It's not the end of the world. Moshe Rabbeinu is late, by the 6th hour, יאללה, אין כלום. מה קרה? לא קרה כלום. אוקיי, she's late. So, קודם כל זה רע שהם היו אשכנזים, you know? יקט.
Actually, there was parties.
Yeah? לא, ספרדים if you late, בסדר, נורמלי, הרב מגיע מאוחר.
But only these parties, they overthink and go
Yeah.
for crazy things.
I had a wedding that the guy, the Rosh Hashiva was Mesader Kiddushin. So it was Chupat Nida. So the color was Nida, but it was okay because only after Shkia, she wore her 7th day. So after Shkia, she's not Nida anymore, so you can conduct the picture, everything correct. But they called the Chuppah for earlier. So the Khatan was very concerned. So I said, I have an idea, because you're going to hold the whole wedding, for another hour and a half. So I said, I asked the Rosh Hashiva, I said, if Rabbi can come late, and then, Rabbi came late, so we started the Chuppah late. He says, no, I can't come late for the Chuppah, it's Chilul Hashem. I'm like, I can see that Rosh Hashiva is Sephardi. Ashkenazim, if you come early, it's Chilul Hashem, Who comes early to a Chuppah? I was once with Rosh Hashiva in a Chuppah.
Rabbi.
Huh? No, usually I come on time. No, not so early. I was a chuppah with Rosh Hashiva with a Persian family in Eretz Israel. A guy from the yeshiva is Persian. We were in Yerushalayim, the chuppah was in Bnei Brak. Huh? No, somebody else. So the chuppah was called for 6:30. So Rosh Hashiva told me, in Eretz Israel you have like 6:30, that's the time. They don't have, Kabbalat Panim and then chuppah. You put one time, chuppah. So she told me, okay, so we got to be there at 6:30. So I said, Rabbi, in Eretz Yisrael, nobody comes on time, If they do, אם אומרים ב6:30 בדיוק, then it's 7:30. If they say בדיוק, then but it takes time. Like, no, really, I can't be late for the wedding. It's very makpid. We came to the wedding, we were the first people at the hall. Mamash, number one, first people at the hall. Before Khata, nobody was there. The waitress looked at us like, what's wrong with you?
I had the same thing, but whose wedding was it? Maybe Ellie's wedding, maybe?
No?
I forgot. Somebody's wedding was in B'nai Sfardim. I come like 10 minutes late to the chuppah. Not one person.
Not one person?
I was like, did I come to the right place?
Yeah.
What did Yeshiva say?
בדיוק? No, in America. By the way, that chuppah was called for 6:30. They started at 9:45. No, it's Persian. Persian זה פרשה אחרת,
But it's still like a decent time. It's okay.
נכון? It's not as bad, yeah? So, Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't come for an hour, he's an hour late. מה קרה? Why is he jumping so much? They're changing everything. But now, who is the problem in?
It's a lie that Moshe Rabbeinu was a Sephardic,
He was Sephardi, he was late, and they were Ashkenazim, yeah.
No, he was actually came right on the dot.
You came on the dot? No, yeah, but they thought, yeah, I can. So, so that's a question, meaning why they're going crazy? But the shaila is, what's so bad, meaning, who's the problem over here? Moshe, nachon? Moshe Rabbeinu, you late. So, what do they need now as a replacement?
Another person. Why are you
They need another Moshe, not another God. Leader, not God. Why are they making another God over here? Make another Moshe. Going weiter. Aaron HaKohen, we have a rule in the Torah, Rachon. There are 3 things that Yareg ve'al Yavor. One of them is Avodah Zarah. Aaron HaKohen. How do you do Avodah Zarah? You have all of the reasons in the world, but it says in the Torah, Aloche, Yareg ve'al Yavor. What's going on? How can Bechlal Aaron participate? Later on, you see that when Hashem telling Moshe Rabbeinu, by the way, I'm going to kill all this nation, Moshe start praying. And Hashem is telling him, by the way, Moshe, Lech red migdulatcha. So before he said, you gotta go down, because you're the one who accept the Erev Rav into Am Yisrael. They are the one who start the Egel. That's why you shouldn't be the leader. That seems that, who's at fault? Moshe. Huh?
When was this? When did Moshe?
When Hashem spoke with him. The first time Hashem spoke with him, Lech red migdulatcha, Perek Lamed Pasuk Zayin. Then later on, Hashem said, Heref li, let me wipe them away, and I'm going to make the nation out of you, Moshe. But if Moshe is the fault, what would Hashem make the nation out of Moshe? Doesn't make sense.
How did he feel on that?
If Moshe is at fault, Hashem said, Lech red migdulatcha. Your fault, you brought Erev Rav into Am Yisrael, nachon? So if it's Moshe's fault, so then the remedy was, I'll wipe them off, I'll make a new nation out of you. Nachon? Not out of you. But you're at fault. Hashem shouldn't make a nation out of somebody who caused it. Moshe is the fault of it. Now then Moshe started convincing Hashem. He says, Zechor leAvraham, Yitzchak v'Yisrael avadecha. He brings very interesting reasons for Avraham, Yitzchak. Avraham was born in Pasuk Yud Gimel. Avraham got born. Yitzchak got Akedah. And Yaakov got Galut. So do it for them. What's the connection for Akedah, Galut, to do it for them? Meaning, if you're doing it for the fathers, the only relationship we have for our fathers is by Hashem promised. Avraham, nachon? Has nothing to do with the Mesirut Nefesh of the Avot. Why is Moshe justification to keep Am Yisrael? Because of the Mesirut Nefesh of the Avot.
What should it have been?
Because of Hashem, you promised. You promised, yeah, you promised Am Yisrael, you should keep it.
You could have just said that, like, the Av Shemerachem, you know? Yeah, like...
Ken, you shouldn't say Mesirut Nefesh, Ken. Now, it says later on, by the way, when Hashem in Pasuk Yutet, okay? Pasuk Yutet, he says, Vayomer, Vayi כאשר קרב אל המחנה, וירא את העגל ומחולות, ויהי חרף משה, וישלך מידיו את הלוחות, וישבר אותם תחת ההר. Okay? So he threw the לוחות away. Rashi says, וישלך מידיו, אמר, מה פסח שהוא אחד מן המצוות? אמרה תורה, כל בן נכר לא יאכל בו. If קורבן פסח is one of the מצוות. בן נכר cannot eat it. התורה כולה כאן, the whole Torah over here. By the way, it's not the whole Torah. What's over here? Only the כן, עשרת הדיברות. וכל ישראל משומדים, all of בני ישראל are משומדים, ואתנן להם, I'm going to give it to him. What's the comparison A to קורבן פסח?
כל ישראל מומרים.
מומרים, אותו דבר. All Israel, so what's the comparison between the קורבן פסח to the לוחות? If a קורבן פסח, בן נכר not allowed to eat, כל שכן, that in the לוחות they're not allowed to eat, נכון? So why it's so important to emphasize that because of Korban Pesach they weren't allowed to get, they're not supposed to get the Luchot. They're not allowed to get the Luchot because it has nothing to do with Korban Pesach. What's the comparison to Korban Pesach and why it says the Kol HaTorah kan, the Lo Kol HaTorah kan? It's only the Luchot over here. The last piece for the questions.
As you guys said, why did you break the Luchot?
Meaning why it says the whole Torah over here if Korban Pesach is one mitzvah and Ben Echar not allowed. Here we have the whole Torah and all of Am Yisrael, they're not allowed.
So you could ask, why did you break the Luchot?
Yeah, that we ask it. What's the point of the Luchot?
Right.
Now, last question for now is when Hashem command the way Moshe killed Bnei Israel, what did he do? He took Bnei Levi, Vayomer, פסוק כ"ז, ויאמר להם, כה אמר השם אלוהי ישראל, שימו איש חרבו על ירחו, עברו ושובו משער לשער במחנה, והרגו איש את אחיו, ואיש את רעהו, ואיש את קרבו. So he's telling him, go around from gate to gate to מחנה, and make sure you kill each other. But he says, איש את רעהו ואיש את קרבו, נכון? So the Gemara asks, how can you have קרוב to Levi? If בני לוי לא חטאו, how can you have karov? The Gemara answer, if the grandfather was married, if his sister got married to a non-Levi, and that child is the relative that you're supposed to kill. Like, the Torah giving us information of relatives killing that is very rare b'chlal in the whole case over there? Because at the time, the Gemara says in Bava Basra, they were close to each other. They used to protect the families. Lo tru shvatim lavot ze bazeh. One tribe wasn't allowed to mix with another tribe. Only later on, tru shvatim lavot ze bazeh. So if so, the probability to have such a person, it's so rare. And they kill only a total of 3,000 people. So what's the chance that they kill somebody else like that is relative not out of Shevet Levi? Almost impossible. So why the Torah emphasize it in the message that Bnei Levi, you gotta kill Ish et Achiv, one killing his brother. So in order to understand, I think you have to start working out what's the problem in Chet HaEgel. Ma kara po? What happened? Who initiated Chet HaEgel? Erev Rav. When Erev Rav joined Bnei Israel, what's the reason that Erev Rav joined Bnei Israel? All these Erev Rav used to worship Avodah Zarah. They see that in Judaism there is something else going on. How do you worship Avodah Zarah? You do for the Avodah Zarah. They see that God, it's different than Avodah Zarah. What is God doing? He does for us. What motivated the Goyim, the Erev Rav, to join Judaism was only because God gonna give us. So instead of us, we were giving to God. Hashem gonna give now us. Aval, is that a good reason to bring him inside or not?
No.
Shouldn't be a good reason, nachon? Moshe Rabbeinu, why did Moshe Rabbeinu took them? He said, let me bring them tachat kanfei Shechina. Moshe Rabbeinu says, let me give them the opportunity to join tachat kanfei Shechina. Nachon? I want him to be tachat kanfei Shechina. Meaning, if you look on the Erev Rav, when the Erev Rav joined the Torah, nachon? What's the motivation? Because Hashem is care for us, number one. Number two, why Moshe accept them? So we can get more people under the Shechina of Hashem. So who is that for? Hashem. Accepting the Erev Rav, joining Erev Rav, joining Am Yisrael has two things. Number one, they feel they want it because God cares about us. And number two, we're doing them a favor. We're going to join, we're going to increase the congregation. You have more people into the congregation. That's how the Erev Rav relationship begins. When Moshe Rabbeinu was promised he's going to go for 40 days and then eventually he's going to come back to after 40 days. What was the mistake of the Cheshbon? Moshe Rabbeinu said, I'm coming in 40 days. 40 days calculate from, not from the day that he left, because the day that he left was no night to it before. It's only calculated from
the next day.
From the next day. So the counting was pushed by a day. That's why he came the following day. So, according to Bnei Israel calculation, how do you define 40 days? From the day that he left. Says the Erev Rav, there might be a different definition for the time according to Moshe. Nachon? Misunderstanding can happen that according to Moshe it's one day, and according to us, according to Moshe it begins later, according to us to begin earlier. And that's a question on, on Aaron HaKohen. Aaron HaKohen, tagid lahem lechakot, tell them to wait another day. Why Aaron HaKohen didn't suspect anything? Because he knew that the calculations gotta be different. But says the Erev Rav, why is Hashem doesn't care about our calculation and he goes with his calculation? Hashem is there for us to do us good, and suddenly he doesn't care about us. He can have his own calculation, but the way he runs this world is for us. So he should go with our calculation. So Hashem doesn't care about us anymore. Therefore, the issue that they are facing, because
we're doing our calculation, if he does for
if he does the world for us, right, he should go according to our calculation.
So maybe everything that we do
right
is because Hashem's not understanding.
No, but if he does the world, no. It's poseder. If he give us a time frame, if you're calling somebody, call me from California, okay, we're going to have a meeting at 12 o'clock. I said, look, problem, 12 o'clock he didn't call. After 3 hours he calls me. I'm like, where were you? He said, no, 12 o'clock, California time. If you're talking to somebody, you got to go according to his time. If you want to schedule the meeting with me, he's got to make sure I go by Eastern time. If Hashem schedule a meeting with us, I'm leaving for 40 days and Moshe is coming back, he should go by our time, not by his time. So if Hashem doesn't take our time, that means he doesn't care about us, he cares about himself. So the fact that Moshe didn't show up, it's not an issue of Moshe, it's not a leader issue. It's a fundamental issue. God doesn't care about us. The only reason we came to God is because that he cared about us. That's why we left the Avodah Zarah and we went to him. If God doesn't care about us, what I'm going to do now? Let's go back to Avodah Zarah. So therefore, yes, because God doesn't care about us, if God created the world for us, he should care about us. If he goes according to his time, not according to our time, that means he doesn't care about us.
He created the world for us, but we have to fit within his world.
No, that's the Erev Rav understanding, that it's not like that. Erev Rav understand that this world is for us, Hashem is there to give us, and he should go in our time. Therefore, Aaron HaKohen cannot tell them anything, cannot change anything. The issue over here is misunderstanding what's going on with God. המבחן. Now, Shabbat Shalom Tzaddik. So therefore, when Aaron HaKohen, we ask, why Aaron HaKohen? What do you do? Why do you play the game? What do you say? Aaron HaKohen knows that there is no way to change over here. They think God doesn't care about us. We need to create our own God to communicate with. This is how they grew up, this Erev Rav. Begins that God about me. You know where it's really coming from? Who was the first person who knew Hashem? Avraham. What's made him to know Hashem? What's made him to know Hashem?
Seeing the world.
Sees the Son giving us, nachon? God is taking care of us. That's got to be that somebody else cares about us on top. It didn't come by itself. If the Son giving us light, somebody else created the light. The fundamental of Avraham Avinu coming closer to Hashem begins with God cares about me. So therefore I want to be part of it. So the whole connection of Erev Rav with Erev understood the connection with God, he cares about us. At this point he doesn't care about us, so we're stuck. And therefore we need a replacement of God, Chet HaEgel. What was really the mistake? Were they right or wrong? They were right. Until a few days earlier. Something happened the day before. What was the day before Moshe went to Shamayim? Ma'amad Har Sinai. In Ma'amad Har Sinai, we change the dynamic between Hashem and us. It's not that Hashem cares about us. Because when Hashem thinks about us, he treats us as babies. I'm taking care of you. Hashem gave us the Torah. The Torah, it's a form. There is one level that I care about you. But the highest level, you are next to me. You're with me together. When Hashem gave us the Torah, Hashem changed our relationship with him, that up to this point, it's about him caring about us. At this point, the Rashi brings that Hashem gave us the Torah kekala. The Torah is compared to kala. If anybody getting married, right? Bezrat Hashem, in 2 weeks? Less, nachon?
3 weeks, yeah.
2 and 3 weeks. You're getting married for the kala, nachon? Why are you getting married?
Why are you saying his 3 weeks?
Nachon? Why is a person getting married? Nachon? You're getting married with a kala. You're getting married to have a good life. Who do you care about, Bemet? Yourself. What's the way to get married? What do you do in the chuppah? It's all about her. It's crazy what's going on, Flowers you don't see, men don't see. All this dress, everything about her, she's just taking and receiving. What's going on? Why that's the way? In order to communicate with somebody, to relate, to be part of them, what do you need to do? You got to give him, you got to connect to him. Hashem gave us the Torah. Torah is the kala. It's the way of we can connect to Hashem. When we are connecting to Hashem, we're getting close to Hashem, we're doing the Torah and the mitzvot, It's not that Hashem is giving us. We are part of His team. He's not giving us anymore. At this point, what's the feeling Hashem giving you? You don't want to be receiving. Hashem make us to be His team. How do you become the team of Hashem? You got to give to Hashem. You got to be part of Hashem's thinking. What will learn Gemara? We got to train our mindset to think like Hashem. So we're converting ourselves to be part of Hashem. So therefore, on the cheshbon, the tools how to connect to us. After giving us the Torah, we have to change our definition. It's not Hashem giving us, we're giving Kivyachol back to Hashem. Hashem created a way that we can communicate and giving us the Torah. And at this point, Hashem doesn't go in our cheshbon. At this point of Matan Torah, everything changed. We need to go by the cheshbon of Hashem, not because He doesn't care about us, because we need to connect to Him. We need to be part of His team. Hashem returning everything back, we need to connect to Him. Therefore, Hashem gave us the luchot. What's the luchot? Somebody getting married, Bezrat Hashem, what do you give on the wedding? On the yichud room, by the way, you got to buy something you're giving her. But we don't do yichud room. Ashkenaz do yichud room. In Eretz Israel, you give her a gift or something. What do we give? What do you give a gift? You give her something, small to commemorate, to remember something. When you have a close relationship, you cannot have, when you give a gift, small gift, is the relationship is a small gift? Obviously not, hopefully not, no? But the relationship, the small gift, remind you and represent the connection. The Torah, it's the, the wallet, the small wallet card that you put in your wallet, the tablet, the Luchot HaBrit, the Torah, it's big, it's huge. Luchot HaBrit represent the connection between us and Hashem. Luchot HaBrit is a thick roof from both sides. Who is in one side? Us. Who is in the other side? Hashem. The Luchot HaBrit is the Torah. Represent the Torah is the connector between us and Hashem. We connecting to Hashem like that. The way Hashem expresses His love is giving us the Luchot. Therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu says, if for Korban Pesach we know that Ben Nechar cannot be part of Korban Pesach. Why a Goy cannot be part of Korban Pesach? Because
you mean not be part of it? Like
he's not allowed to eat from the Korban Pesach. Lama? Because the Korban Pesach represent our connection with Hashem when He got us out of Egypt was purely because we did for Him and He did for us. What made Hashem in Pesach lifsoach, to skip the doors of Bnei Israel?
what?
To skip. To skip the doors. Every door Hashem went in and He killed every Bechor. Why in our doors Hashem skipped Pesach? Hashem skipped our doors.
We put the blood.
We put the blood. We put our blood, and Hashem gave us His other side. A Goy cannot give Hashem. Ben Nechar, a Goy, cannot relate to Korban Pesach because giving Hashem is not a Goyish thing. It's impossible. A Goy can only receive from Hashem. Therefore, a Goy cannot be part of Korban Pesach. Says Moshe Rabbeinu, if this is Korban Pesach, a Goy cannot give, cannot be part of it. Now that we have the Luchot, what's the Luchot that Hashem is giving and we're getting back? We are giving and He's giving. If all of Bnei Israel, Meshumadim, who do they care about? Themselves, they cannot relate to me. Kol sheken that we cannot keep the Luchot. Therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu needs to break the Luchot. The Luchot is the identity that what symbolize the love, the job that we have through the Torah is giving to each other and incorporating it together. Therefore, after Moshe realized, so the step was that Bnei Israel, Erev Rav, had a problem. They had the wrong calculation. They thought Hashem doesn't care about them anymore because they thought it's just about us. After Matan Torah, we have a change that we need to give to Hashem. We need to relate. We are there to identify like Hashem, and then Hashem is back to us. It's not Hashem needs to give us. Who caused that? Where it began, that relationship? By Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Because before Matan Torah, what was the relationship? Hashem is giving us. Shasem telling Moshe Rabbeinu. So there were two stages. You the one who brought them and gave them the feeling to be Tachat Kanfei HaShechina. You're right, you're the cause of it. But at this point going forward, you, Moshe, the one who bring out the Torah. They came from who? Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. That generation of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, they're not giving up. The way Avraham knew Hashem is by receiving from Hashem. So therefore, I'm going to wipe out this generation, and I'm going to start a new generation from you, Moshe, that you are the new father who knows how to give. Because you're the one who received the Torah. Says Moshe to Hashem.
You received, you never gave.
What?
Exactly, you received. You
He
never
received
gave.
it. So he knows what the Torah, he knows how to connect to Hashem. So his generation will be able to give. He received the Torah from Hashem. Up to that point, we didn't have ability to give anything to Hashem. He's the first one who came out with the tool we can connect, give back to Hashem. So the generation should begin from you, not from the Avot. What was the answer of Moshe? Says Moshe Rabbeinu, lo. They gave you also. Avraham Avinu went to Kivshan Ha'esh, to Srefa. Yitzchak Avinu went into Akedah. Yaakov Avinu went into Galut. No, the problem is not Am Yisrael. The problem is me. Moshe Rabbeinu said, Hashem, that's not the problem. You know who is at fault? Me, I'm the one who at fault. So the reason the Bnei Israel are not working out, because they got it from the Father to give. I'm the one who's not doing a good job. What did Moshe say right after? Please wipe me out from the Torah. I'm at fault. If you don't forgive them, that means that I am the one who caused it. I have no right to be the leader of Am Israel.
But how is he at fault here?
What, ma?
How is he at fault? I think.
He's the one who brought the Gerim. He's the one who created. I am at fault that Bnei Israel are not connecting. It's my responsibility.
Meaning they were connected, but when I accepted
The Gerim, they changed it. They were connected because their fathers were good. They were connected. The Gerim is set up. It's my fault. You should wipe me out. Why all of the punishment of Chet HaEgel, all of the Chata'im that Bnei Israel did, who punished Bnei Israel? Who punished Bnei Israel? Hashem. Other people. Hashem sent other people, and Hashem is the one who punished Am Israel. Why here in Chet HaEgel, Moshe is the one who creating the punishment? We never saw it before. Moshe is saying to Hashem, I am at fault. Nachon? I have the responsibility to restore Am Israel back to who they should be. Moshe is going around the Machaneh, and he's taking Shevet Levi. Who were Shevet Levi? What's the Kohanim? What's the job of the Kohanim?
Take care of other people.
Take care of Hashem. Take care of the nation. But he's telling him, Yirgu ish et achiv. You got to kill your brother. They didn't kill the brother over there. But Moshe Rabbeinu is telling the remedy for what we have been through. It's understanding that nothing about me. It's just about Hashem. Even if it's get to the level that a man needs to kill his brother, he should kill him. The only reason for men not to kill his brother because my brother. But if you understand that nothing about me, I got to give to Hashem. So it's not about what it's about what He wants. The remedy for Chet HaEgel was giving up my identity, giving up my desire to do everything about me, and giving it to Hashem. Later in generation, what was the kapara for Chet HaEgel? The old kaparot of Chet HaEgel, 10 arugei malchut. You know what happened with 10 arugei malchut? The 10 people arugei malchut, right? It's all kapara for Chet HaEgel, Rabbi Akiva וכולי. All of them, what? לא, arugei malchut, Chet HaEgel. כן, כן. מה אתה אומר? גם מכירת יוסף, אתה צודק, נכון. נראה לי זה גם חטא העגל, נראה לי גם חטא העגל. כן? יכול לשבת. אז זה מסתדר בכל מצב. So, by the way, this generation of 40 years, the generation who lived like that, who experienced such an experience, just taking care about themselves, none of them can go to Eretz Israel. למה? מה זה ארץ ישראל? ארץ ישראל, you got to give to the land. You ever see the Gemara, the Torah says, ולא תקיע הארץ אתכם, כאשר קעה את הגוי אשר לפניכם. If you don't give to ארץ ישראל, what ארץ ישראל is doing? throwing you back. Eretz Israel is same as the Torah. You giving to the Aretz, you do the Torah, the mitzvot, and the Eretz Israel giving you back and observe you. All of the fruit, all of the growth in Eretz Israel would be coming from the more we do Torah and mitzvot in Eretz Israel, the more we have growth in Eretz Israel. Therefore, this generation couldn't go to Eretz Israel. Only the new generation who didn't live on that experience that Hashem is about me, they were the one who were able to go to Eretz Israel. Taking it in our day today, it's, Baruch Hashem, we live for ourselves. And Hashem giving us brachot. Everybody can eat well, can drive well. Baruch Hashem, everybody healthy. We get a lot of brachot. We have to remember this is what Hashem is giving us, but we still remain the responsibility to give Him. Last night Shlomi asked, the Gemara says, that אין שמחה אלא בבשר ויין. איזה דף זה אגב? ט'? ח'? אוקיי. זה חמין, לא? אני צימן, לא, חמין. ח', אוקיי. חמין, ח. אין בשר אלא בשמחה. אין שמחה אלא בבשר ויין. But we are supposed to have simcha from the Torah. There are two ways. This is the Luchot HaBrit. We need to take care of ourselves. How do we take care of ourselves? ושמחת בכל הטוב, אשר השם אלוקיך נותן לך. You got to be happy with what Hashem is giving you. A person who is not happy with the gifts of Hashem cannot connect to Him. I had a case of Shalom Bait that the guy said, look, I said, when was the last time you buy? I asked the guy, when was the last time did you bought a gift for your wife? He said, Rabbi, I wish I can buy her a gift. She doesn't want any gifts from me. So I'm talking to her, and she says, no, I don't want any gifts. So I told her, you understand what's going on? You don't let them to connect to you. How do you connect to something, to people? You're giving. You're connecting. Receive the gift. On a side note, if anybody giving you a compliment, so we intend to say, nah, it's not true. Nah, really, I'm not. Yeah. He wants to give you. Receive it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Receive. Don't deny. When you receive something, acknowledge it. Appreciate it. Connect to it. When Hashem is giving you bracha, you got to enjoy it. You got to connect to it. We have a responsibility on Chagim, Dafka Basar. Responsibility of Shabbat. Hashem give us extra neshama. Why Hashem? Extra neshama in order to eat food? מה קורה פה, תגיד לי, נשמה יתרה, everybody feel, נשמה יתרה, Shabbat. No, it's for food. Because that's the food, that's the way you connect to Hashem. If you can receive what Hashem gave you, you can give Hashem back and connect to Him. Hashem gave us a lot of receiving, a lot of bracha. Our responsibility is to receive it, to enjoy it, to connect to it, and then giving it back. Connect to Hashem back. Return it back to Him. Hashem should be able to connect to Hashem through everything He's giving us, and especially through what we are giving Him.